Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a crisp spring Thursday morning in Michigan. Today we're going back to our roots on the TheTopher Drives channel, and we are taking a road trip in this. And I have somebody to feed me whilst driving today as well, so this will be a good road trip. So this is what we're taking, the 2024 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy, Hyundai's flagship SUV. This is, of course, a three-row vehicle. The Calligraphy is the top trim, starts at about 50 grand. This one as tested around $55,000. Palisade as a base model in SE form, just under 37 grand. So not too expensive for all of the car that you are getting, and even in Calligraphy trim, I don't think 50 grand is too crazy. Under the hood, naturally aspirated 3.8 liter V6, which is one of my favorite things about this Palisade, because a lot of cars in this segment are switching to little turbo four bangers, and we saw that in the last car that we road tripped, the Toyota Grand Highlander. So this 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6 makes 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. In this Palisade, powers into all four wheels. This is the all-wheel drive option via an 8-speed automatic transmission. So a pretty silky smooth, buttery V6 in this Palisade, and I'm excited to use that to our advantage today while we are doing entrance ramps, while we're passing on the highway, and such other things. I do still like to have a V6, or, I mean, at least a V6 in something that is this size. So let's take a look around this before we hit the road, and we'll show you some of our amenities here in the Palisade. Of course, we have a power boot, and you know my favorite part about the back. Would you like to show the viewers? Yes, a place to put things, so you don't have to listen to them slide around while you are taking corners. We have a power folding. Oh, that's the second row. I just folded the second row down on accident. Yeah, and that's folding the wrong way. Okay, so decent amount of room. Yeah, and it's super flat. So we didn't bring anything today. But actually, I didn't even tell the viewers where we're going. Yeah. I was just wanting to film a road trip because we haven't filmed one in like months. So we're going 2 hours north to Midland, Michigan.
Your college town.
Which is my college town. We're just going to go and we're going to have lunch at a place that I've been craving for the past year because I haven't been up there in a while. So what better to take along on our journey than a car with a massive H badge? And they do really want you to know it's a Hyundai. The badge on the steering wheel is massive as well. They're kind of getting away from that now though, because now they just have the 4 dots. Yes. So this will probably be the last Palisade with an H on the steering wheel. Okay, we need to try out the third row, and then we will show you the rest of the car. After you. I think we should both get back here and see if it's... Did you hit your head?
I bonked my nut.
Is this technically...
It's a three-seater.
Is it a 3? Oh yeah, because there's a little headrest in the middle. Okay, so this is a 7-passenger.
It is.
Also, that gets out of the way nicely. Also, those are heated, don't you know?
Don't you know?
I've never seen a car with a heated third row seat. I don't know where I've been, but... Here's a room in the second row, sat behind myself at 5'11", heated, cooled seats, and we have vents up here on the headliner, which is micro suede, or Alcantara, if you will, which is my favorite part about the Palisade Calligraphy. Additionally, on the Calligraphy, you get these special 20-inch wheels. Today we're running on some Hankook all-season tires. Definitely not the best quality of tire, but we'll see how they do today. We also get Napa leather seating surfaces inside as opposed to the artificial leather that you get in lower trims. And we have something called Smart Park. Have you ever seen that work? So what that does is if you are in a situation very unlike this, where you have cars on either side of you very tight, you can use the key fob. So you can start the car, and then you can hold this button, and you can take it for a walk. So there's nobody in the car currently, as you can see. And you may be thinking, oh, well, what if there's something in the way? Well, I can walk in front of it. And it will stop.
Yeah, a little close.
But yeah, so kind of a cool feature. Or if you have like a really tight garage, you can back it in. You can make the car go backwards as well. So now it'll go into reverse. And we can take it for a walk going backwards. It's just like a big RC car, basically. Those reverse lights are very low down. I've never noticed that. And stop. Okay. So there's Smart Park. Okay. Shall we leave the parking lot?
I'm quite cold.
Okay, let's go. Also, the remote start. That made a terrible sound. What was that?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
I have no idea.
Anyways, the remote start on this car doesn't require you to do anything. You just get in, sit down, it will play out the couple of dings, and then you are ready to go. So the Palisade got a facelift last year for the 23 model year. We got a slightly revised steering wheel. The dashboard is different. We now have this big continuous vent that goes all the way through. Up front, of course, heated seats, heated steering wheel. We have this trim up here, which reminds me a bit of a Mercedes-Benz. It's kind of like the black with silver pinstriping look, which is a bit more simulated in the Palisade, but I think it looks nice. All of these that I've driven have always had a light interior, like the white and gray, but this one is all black. But we still have the steering wheel with the stitch that goes around the face, which is nice. We have wired Apple CarPlay on our 12.3-inch infotainment, but it's a Hyundai, so everything works very nice and smooth. No complaints there. Apple CarPlay looks nice. And we have this nice calm screen. Haptic touch feedback little panel there for our climate control. And we have a fully customizable gauge cluster as well, which is really funny. It has this mode called cubes, which is fine, but the cubes do this thing where they kind of like pulsate every couple of seconds, and it does that forever, and it's extremely distracting. Do you see that from over there? Yeah, so I leave it on Classic C, which is what you would see in your Eco Drive mode if you were to go into that. Speaking of drive modes, we can switch those all right here with this dial. And when you go into Sport mode, we have this like active ergo seat thing here, which squeezes the seat bolsters to hold you in better for Sport mode. Or once you go like over 75 or 80 miles an hour on the highway, they will adjust and hold you in a bit better as well.
Very cool.
There's our reverse camera and our 360 camera. But upon looking down, I wanted to mention that we have this kind of under console storage area that can you pull that out? We're using for Ann Yeti.
Snack box.
That's right, yes. Additionally, little cubby right here. New water bottle unlocked.
No lead in this one.
No lead in that one. And it has a handle on it. But it's less of an obnoxious pink color than
it's a little softer.
than the outgoing.
A little smaller as well.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go fill up some fuel. We've got about half a tank. I want to just set off with a full tank, and we'll see how much gas we use. Combined round trip's going to be just under 250 miles today. It's about 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So we're going to spend 4 hours in this Palisade. So we'll evaluate all of the normal road trip stuff, seat comfort. We'll give you guys a good idea of generally highway MPG, a little bit of combined, because we'll do a little bit of city driving as well. And then we'll give you an MPG figure once we get there, and then once we're towards the end of the trip. My assistant is grabbing the highway MPG for us currently, which I thought was maybe 24. Okay, it's 24. A little bit of a jumpy throttle response. We have enough torque from this V6, but you often get the sense that there isn't enough torque for this thing to kind of deliver the smooth gear changes that it should be, if that makes sense. I found that it kind of does a lot of downshifting when you apply more than like 40% throttle, so you'll probably see that as we drive today. More so like you'll slow down and go around a corner and you'll be in 5th gear, and then you'll start accelerating and the car will start to accelerate in 5th gear, and then all of a sudden decide it needs to be in 3rd and just go down and be revved at like 5,000 RPM. So kind of some weird tuning here. it just did it there. We went around the corner in like third or fourth, and then it decided it needed second. Okay. Let's put ourselves into park. I don't believe we have any sort of switch or anything to pop our fuel filler. You should just have to push on it and it will open.
Bye. Thank you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
So thoughtful.
Try not to smash the door on the pole. Of course, this thing just takes good old regular 87 basic fuel. So we'll get the tank brimmed and then we'll reset the trip, or the car will reset the trip for itself. She's looking at houses. You notice how Hyundai door handles are always just like very light and blocky feeling?
Yeah.
Trip has reset itself. Would you like to go through the drive-thru at Tim Hortons and try something new, or would you like... Okay,
No.
you would like to not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead, put the Palisade in drive, and jump right onto the highway. Overall, kind of like ergonomically, the Palisade has been nice to live with. I've been driving this car now for 4 days. Ingress, egress is nice. Driver's compartment, super airy, even though everything in here is very dark colored. But I like that. It kind of gives a more upper class, kind of high-end feel with this thing. Deploying my active bolsters here. Man, what a shame we don't get to blast the entrance ramp. Person's in a CX-5. They should be squealing tires around here. Come on, come on. I will say the chassis on this Palisade, quite impressive from a sports standpoint. Big scary semi coming up. Let's get around the
Rusty.
S10 that's made out of wood. And back into comfort mode we go. It's always chaos merging right there. It's always like certain death, somebody going 5.
And semis.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, let's try and get settled in here.
Scat pack.
This, yeah, generally stolen scat pack. We can set our cruise control here with the button on the steering wheel. This thing has the full suite of all of the Hyundai safety features. It has, of course, adaptive cruise, lane keep assist. It has steering assist. It has lane change assist. It has absolutely everything. Okay, so here's what I don't like about the Hyundai auto lane change. Put your turn signal on, okay? It acts like it's about to initiate a lane change, but it won't do it unless you have your hand on the wheel. So you have to kind of hold the wheel like so for it to do the lane change, which I don't understand, because what's the point of having it do a lane change if you have to touch the wheel? Because you can just touch the wheel and do the lane change yourself that way. So I don't completely understand that. Never really have, but that's how it works. Because then, alternatively, if you go to do a lane change and you do have your hands on the wheel, lane assist canceled, input detected. So you have to like kind of straddle this fine line in between doing the lane change yourself and not having your hands on the wheel at all, which is very strange. You have to put more thought into doing that than just changing lanes yourself. Otherwise, this system does a great job. And I was saying yesterday, I think this is probably the most well-calibrated version of this that I've driven in a while. It stays in between the lines nicely. It's not swerving all over the place like some of these have done in the past. So far we're doing 17 mpg, but I think I got up to 7,000 RPM while I was merging. Here we go. Get a warning from the mirror and also a vibration on the steering wheel when you put the turn signal on and there's somebody in your blind spot. Okay, we're gonna shoot the gap. Come on, V6. And we're done. From an NVH standpoint, seems pretty nice. It is a little bit of a windy day today. Stay in your lane, advanced water treatment.
He's texting.
Yeah, of course. It's a little bit windy today, but not a ton of wind intrusion. You can hear it a little bit, but NVH as a whole, road noise isn't bad. Ride quality is nice, even on these 20-inch wheels that you get with the calligraphy trim. The car is steering itself currently. It really insists on this. You have to turn the steering assist off every time you go out of cruise control manually. And we found yesterday it lets you go for a long time before it yells at you.
Yeah, almost 2 minutes.
Yes.
I think we timed.
We're not even in cruise control right now. Okay, it's yelling at me now. Probably because I'm not in cruise control. What I like about the Hyundais though is that you don't have to be using cruise control in order to take advantage of the steering and the lane keep assist. A lot of cars you can only use them if you're in cruise control, but with a Hyundai you can use them anytime you like. How are you feeling from the passenger seat?
It is a comfortable passenger seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could lay this back and take a nap right now, for sure.
You have to test out the napability. That's kind of like your thing, isn't it? How far does the seat go back?
Let's find out. Oh, all the way. This is nice.
And pano roof, well, kind of. I guess where you're looking, there's probably nothing.
There's nothing now.
Yeah. This has like the dual moonroof setup, so we have the small one up here and then the larger one in the back. For the mid, kind of $50,000 price range, you get just about everything you could ever ask for. I mean, I don't really know what else you would want in this car besides just strictly build quality items that you're not going to get unless you step up to a BMW or Mercedes, an Audi, something like that. Like just, you know, that much more sound deadening, a lighter steering rack, a more precise steering rack, maybe like some air suspension, something like that. All right, let's see if we can, oh, lane assist canceled. What if I kind of just hover right here next to the steering wheel? Ah, there you go. Stupidest feature ever.
I think it's just like a safeguard, you know?
I know, but why even have it if you have to have your hands on the wheel? Okay, well, we're gonna settle in here to the Palisade. We're gonna get some miles under our belt, and we will catch up with you once it is time for another update. Do you have anything else you would like to add from your side?
I'm gonna take a nap.
You're gonna take a nap. Okay, well, I'm gonna resume the cruise control here and settle in the Palisade, and we will be back with you shortly.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard, and I wonder where you are.
Right, okay, well, it's one of those days, and the GoPro wasn't recording as we exited the highway, but we are now in the Starbucks drive-thru, which happens to share a building with AT&T. Maneuverability so far has been pretty good. I have not crashed into any curbs. It's one of those days, you know, we're just...
Almost.
Is it? Am I an NPC being affected by the full moon?
Hi there, how's it going?
Hey there, good, how are you? Can we please do a venti strawberry refresher with lemonade, please?
Our venti strawberry acid refresher with lemonade would also meet you.
I think that'll be it.
All right, you can go ahead and go forward. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Pretty good transition with the auto start stop as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't jolt you. Okay, now we lost our audio. Is the universe trying to tell us something?
Yeah, maybe we need to turn around.
Do we need to turn around? Okay, so we're gonna stop at the store, I guess, and get some batteries for this guy. Steering's pretty light at low speeds, feels nice. It's a placeable car. You can see over the hood, decently straightforward placing the front end, and if you want even more help, you can push the P button and you can actually see where you're at here.
Oh, I need to get my card.
Many of angles here for the drive-thru. Hello.
Please, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
I always wonder what the drive-thru people think when you show up with a GoPro on your face.
You know, none of them ever have any reaction to it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they're so numb to like people being so insufferable through the drive-thru.
Oh, and like filming them.
And filming them and like stupid like people making TikToks that they just like don't even
Yeah.
don't even think to ask questions.
That's unfortunate.
So I have literally never once had anybody ask me about it.
Okay, time for some battery.
Here we go. Let's use our parking cameras and see how good of a job I did.
Nice.
I wish the car was gray instead of white, because our car's not white.
Yeah,
Also, I think this is a limited based on the wheels. Ours is a calligraphy. Anyways. I'm in drive, but as soon as I put this into park, it's going to fire the engine back up. Watch. I don't understand why, I don't get why cars do that have auto start stop, but all right. Audio will be restored once we get back.
Momentarily.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back. Hopefully less chaos now.
Yes.
Ow.
What was that?
I just bent my fingernail back on the shifter. We want north. It does kind of rev out quite a bit. 30% throttle. Ooh. All right. Test out the chassis a little bit here. Holding on.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
That's some good handling right there. So the cup holders, they don't hold on super well.
Oh, you're so.
I can blame it a little bit on myself. The tires didn't even squeal.
No, they didn't.
Ton of grip here.
Car handled well, but
A lot of grip.
the cup holder did
You know
not.
what though? I'm glad that one let go and not that one. It would have been so much worse.
So sticky. not really a good spot for this.
Okay, let's go back into comfort. I thought of a couple of things I would add. Power adjust steering column, I think would go a long way in here. And a third memory setting for the memory seats.
Why a third?
Because I think a car like this, you're going to have 3 drivers. 2 parents and a child that is just starting to drive. So I think you could, no, seriously, I'm being,
Yeah.
realistic. How did water get up there?
I don't know.
All right, let's set our cruise control back. My fingernail is throbbing also. Update on the MPG 20.8. Which is a number. I mean, we're doing over 20. This is going to be a combined figure, which the combined
21.
is 21.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are doing that. I have a question for you.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
What is your opinion on the turn signal cameras?
I mean, it's fine.
Oh, it thinks I want to change lane. It thinks, stop. It's trying to turn me into the exit lane.
I feel like if you have blind spot monitoring on your mirrors, and like my car will bling at you if you put your turn signal
This
on.
does too. Well, it vibrates.
Yeah, it does that, and it goes bling bling, right? If you put your turn signal on and someone's in your blind spot. If it does all of those things already, then I do feel like the blind spot cameras are a little bit pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice little like gimmick or like addition.
My argument, and Charlie and I have discussed this, is generally before you put your turn signal on, you've already checked your blind spot.
Right, you've already looked.
So I think that this is for if you are driving next to somebody irrational.
Yeah, that's true.
You put
There's
your
a lot
turn
of
signal
people
on,
like that.
okay? They see that, and then they speed up on you to not let you in. You can now see that in your cluster.
That's
So
a good
I think it's
point.
kind of like a safety thing to safeguard you from degenerate drivers.
Yeah.
Overall seat comfort so far, I'm not fatigued. Usually you can tell after about an hour if you're going to settle into a seat all right, and this one seems to be doing the job.
My back hurt pre-road trip,
Okay.
but it doesn't hurt currently.
Is the Palisade healing you?
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heated seat and the lumbar support has been excellent.
You know, Kia and Hyundai, they are kind of experimenting with that. They've got eucalyptus seats in the Nero,
Oh.
which eucalyptus has healing functionality to it.
It does. It's very relaxing.
And I said at the press event, at the first drive event, I was at a table with all of the Kia executives, and I said, if you sat in the seat naked, would it heal your wounds? And they didn't think it was as funny as... It sounded funnier in my head, admittedly. This is what I love about Hyundais, is you can just sit here. And like every couple of minutes, you touch the steering wheel for half a second, but otherwise the car just does it for you. I think it'd be nice if Hyundai would implement like a Super Cruise style self-driving where the car would do auto lane changes without you even asking it to. Because if we were in a Silverado right now, we would be passing without me asking the car. MPG's up to 21.4. Is this the longest video in the history of my channel?
Likely.
likely is.
We're not even there yet.
Should the thumbnail be me with no hands on the wheel?
Yes.
We are reaching for the stars.
Okay, we're about 100 miles in. Am I recording? Yes, I am.
Yes.
We're 100 miles in, and we're coming over the Zilwaukee Bridge, which I have fond memories of, going up to school. All my friends and I would compete to see who could do the highest top speed over the Zilwaukee Bridge. And my buddy, who had a Volvo S60R, I think he had the record. I think he hit like 100, allegedly. I think he hit like 160 over this bridge, which is nuts to think about. But this is a good spot to go fast because there's nowhere for a cop to be. And it's a super long bridge, so we obviously won't be trying that today in the Hyundai Palisade. I don't know what the top speed on this is. Probably like 120 or something, but the only sketchy part about doing that is the bridge is kind of like one big corner. You see how right now we're turning left, and then you peak here, it's a little bit of a straightaway, but it's also bumpy, and then you have a turn at the end that kind of sweeps right, and when you're going 160 miles an hour, this is a hairpin. Just a little bit of college lore. I guess we should talk about what we're actually doing. I didn't really explain like why we're going to Midland.
Briefly mentioned.
I want some chips and dip.
Yes.
Also, we'll do a little bit of a drive around Midland, and we'll show you guys where I went to college. Spent all that time and money, and now I just drive cars around with a camera on my face. The only thing I've had to do since we let you guys go about 50 miles ago is I had to give myself a little bit more lumbar. But I feel like that's the case really with any car, is after you just sit for a while, you do get a little bit fatigued. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the seat. I also wanted to talk about the actual driver's compartment, so where my knees are sitting. This console sits up a little bit high, but it's not so high that it's claustrophobic. I've got a little bit of cushion here from this leather-wrapped panel where my knee sits on the right, and where my knee sits on the left, the door panel does have a little bit of padding here as well. So I can sit here with my legs rested, and I feel like I got a good amount of room here. Headroom's good, and what about elbow comfort? It's all right. It's squishy enough on both sides. The door panel elbow could be a little bit softer. And I think another thing that would bring a nice element of luxury to this Palisade would be a split folding armrest.
Yes.
That would be nice, because I've noticed a couple of times I've opened it and you've had to like dodge. So today we are going to try a new sound system test song. If I can find it. Library, go to liked songs. There we go. So I know a lot of you guys like the song that I've been using, but I think it's time for a little bit of a switch up. So this is We Are from the NCS playlist, Best of 2016. So I thought, since we're going up, I started college in 2016, we'd have a little bit of nostalgia. I used to use this song on the YouTube channel that I had in high school. So we're going to use that to test out our Harman Kardon today. Show you guys, I do have bass turned up just a little bit. I always find with these Hyundais that you have to help them a little bit as far as bass goes. At bass EQ, they don't really punch like I like them to, so. This is a real bummer that we have traffic here, because this is a great corner to spill drinks, yeah, right. Passing power from the V6. I mean, 290 horsepower is not crazy, but the big perk of a V6 is the torque and not having to wait for turbos to spool up from the turbo fork. All right, let's talk about the sound system. What do you think?
It's good.
It sounds pretty good. The only thing with Hyundais, like I said, is you oftentimes have to adjust the bass EQ and tune it just a little bit to get it to where it's satisfactory. But I think overall, it does all right. I've never really been huge on these Harman Kardons that they put in Hyundais, but I would say this is like very much a B-tier sound system. My seat is deflating. Sorry, I just got distracted. What? It's massaging me. I didn't ask it to do that. I think it's one of those things where it's like a fatigue
Yeah.
after you've been driving for hour and 45 minutes. It'll start to massage you.
Interesting. We're going to get chips.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll have one.
All right, oh, cool. Oh, cool.
What a good lunchbox.
Lower back pain relief, phase 1 completed.
Wow.
All right, guys, we are entering downtown Midland. Not that that's anything too exciting, but this is where I lived for 4 years. We're gonna go and grab some lunch, and then we'll drive through my college's campus,
Which I've never seen.
which Emily's never seen, so we're gonna show that to her. And then we'll head back, give you some final impressions, and that'll be it.
Should we move to Midland?
No. This is the BP gas station where I would stop on my way to class every day and fill up the tires in my E90 because they had slow leaks and I was too poor to put new tires on it. This is the Santa house. This is where the Santas come and learn to be Santa.
Oh.
Fun fact. Midland is like the epicenter for the shopping mall Santas. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go have some lunch. We'll be back in a jiffy. We are leaving lunch and immediately going right into a turning circle test here for the Palisade.
I think you got it.
Yeah, but if there would have been cars parked right here, we wouldn't have made it. Not too bad. Ooh, a GS. Here it is. Everyone that wonders where I went to school. Lots of dealership kids go to this school, so parents, grandparents, families, whatever, that own dealerships will send their kids here to then be able to learn how to take over the business from them when that time comes. So this is the aftermarket building. That's the automotive building right there. So a lot of my classes were in that building to the left. There's like no cool cars here. We literally, when I went here, everybody had a cool car. There's like nothing. This is where I spent my youth. Other kids go to party schools. I came here. Shall we go to Costco?
Shall.
Okay. Digestive health is important, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Check it out. Easy fit.
Amazing.
Okay. 215 miles and almost 4 hours sitting in the Hyundai Palisade. And, well, it is currently doing the lower back stabilization thing or whatever. I think it does that every about hour and 45 minutes, which is nice. Overall, it's been just a nice, straightforward experience. I mean, there's nothing really about this Palisade that blows me away, but that's not always a bad thing for a car in this class. I mean, you really just want it to work. You want to be able to get in, know how to use everything. You want it to have a supple ride, nice materials, and this, honestly, it checks all the boxes. It's fine. And it's nice that, you know, this still does have a fair amount of physical controls, very nicely reactive infotainment system, and I mean, it's just, I think anyone could get in this car and know how to use it, be comfortable, and be able to go on a long trip in it. You could probably even put the seats down and sleep in it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I think it's got probably enough room. Lane change assist is silly, and I wish the sound system was just a little bit better, but otherwise, it's been quite good. Hyundai has grown so much in the last like 15 to 20 years. I mean, you look at a Hyundai from 20 years ago and, well, you wouldn't be looking at it because it's already been crushed and turned into a refrigerator in China. But I think these will be around for a while, especially because it has the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Ending our MPG here on just under 23, 22.9, and that is, what would you say, 80% highway and 20% city. So that's going to wrap up our impressions here and our road trip on the Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. If you all have any questions, make sure to ask them below, and either myself or Emily, who does moderate the comment section, will answer you. Thank you all so much for watching.
We'll see you in the next one.
Take care. Oh my God.
We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.